verbal or knife.
Call, Your Honor, really as it relates to this particular incident, there's only two relevant areas from 00 to 1 minute, and then 3 minutes and 50 seconds to 6:40 are the only relevant parts, I believe, for this particular matter.
Are you gonna want all of the third call to be played? I tell you what, how long is the third call?
So all the calls, Mr. Steele is correct. All the calls are approximately 15 minutes, and the state does intend to play all 5 calls.
Your time, as much time as you want. I'm sure to refresh your memory. No, I'm talking about the third. I'm talking about the third call. But I need the court instructing me. I don't know why you're doing this. The court instructing me to help the court. That's what I'm doing. When it comes up, that's what you instruct me. So. Following what you asked me to do. Now you're acting like I'm not prepared. I'm very. All right, I tell you what, will 20 minutes be sufficient for you to review short? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take 20 minutes, and so after that, we'll come back and continue with the. We'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Your technical will see you in 20 minutes, okay? Yes, sir.
Hey, Your Honor.
Do I need to listen to the call?
You don't, but during this break, when we come back, we'll just want to know a decision about the transcript, because we do have a transcript for the first call. And that was the one we gave to them yesterday. So just a decision about.
Well, I thought you were going to take more time for that because.
They have not looked at it. Okay, never mind. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, okay. We're in recess about 20 minutes. I have a motion. In regards to what, sir? Your comments. I have a motion. Okay, what's your motion?
Right. This is the second time that this honorable court in front of the jury has addressed me inappropriately and wrongly. Second time. The first time I gave the state discovery of a song from a Super Bowl. Weeks before, there was an objection. You assumed that I didn't give it to the state. I didn't want to embarrass the court. So you were yelling at me and saying, do you understand me? Do you understand me? And instead of saying, do you understand that you're wrong? I sat here and I said, yes, Your Honor. That was to protect the integrity of this courtroom and the court. Now you say in front of the jury how unprepared I am. I am not unprepared for anything.
Okay.
I have, no.
Steele,
I need to make
Mr.
a
Steele,
record. Your Honor,
Mr. Steele, wait a second. When you keep delaying, okay, and that's what's happening to the court. You keep delaying and elongating and pushing out these particular our ability to present a seamless case in front of the jury. That's my purview as a judge. And I've asked you a number of times, you and your colleagues on both sides, to go ahead and listen to whatever it is you need to do, prepare me as needed. Now, I asked you those two particular questions because if they turned over the
audio to you in discovery and you've listened to them already, then you either have an objection or you don't have an objection. And I was trying to solicit from you whether or not we could just go ahead and just hear it. So you can imagine my frustration because all these little delays just elongate out our presentation in front of the jury. That's for your benefit, not for mine. Your Honor. So that's why I've told you all at various times during this particular case. It's not because I want to embarrass you, Mr. Steele. It's just that I'm trying to kind of keep this thing presented in a way that the jury can listen to it.
And the court is wrong. What happened was, let me finish, and I'm making this for the record. What happened is, and I don't get embarrassed by you, but I don't want to embarrass you. I made an objection that some of these jail calls have a third party who will not testify. I objected to hearsay. The state said it explains the effect.
Okay, which call?
These calls, as you.
Okay, well then why aren't we taking them up beforehand?
The state just said just now, these are the three additional calls that they want to introduce.
All right. Well, then here's your response. I'm going to give you an acceptable response.
So I'm going to make my motion. Huh? I need to make my motion.
Judge, there's more to this, and we need to listen to these calls.
Right.
Then I would have no, you didn't say that though. So
I just noticed my microphone was on mute, so I wasn't really being heard. This sucks.
I wouldn't have had that opportunity. But that's why I keep telling you this. Okay. I mean, like I told you, forewarned judge, a happy judge. All right. So had you just told me up front, Judge, we have not had the opportunity to listen to all of those calls. We've only been able to listen to 2. I want to listen to the other ones. And
I've listened to the calls. I know. I don't know what the third one they're trying to do.
Okay, well,
listen, let me just finish. So you presuppose I don't know what the calls are. Well,
My man said, let me just finish. I'm talking.
I don't know what the third call is because Ms. Hilton, who's professional, said, I'll take a break and I'll let you know what it is. But the other 2 calls are the baseball game and at the chicken. They're discussing chicken wings. Or chicken. I understand those calls. There's issues in those calls that you need to address.
Imagine you being the defendant, watching your lawyer yell at the judge. Man, worth every dollar.
But I politely make an objection and say, Your Honor, based upon what you told me, which is what you told me, we'll take it up later. I wanted to raise it. You tell in front of the jury how unprepared I am. And let me tell you something. I am not unprepared. I don't appreciate the court telling me that. And you don't, and I asked you, tell the jurors that you were wrong when you admonished me last time. You said you wouldn't do that. This is the second time. And you know what it does to me? I don't care. I'm hurt because you're a court, but I really don't care.
Man, that's a lawyer worth every dollar. He said it's not about me.
But what does it do to Mr. Williams?
Mr. Steele, I'm not trying to personally insult you or hurt your feelings, okay? You are a grown professional advocate. I'm a grown professional jurist. And people say things to me that border on the lines of I could take action or not.
He said, I'm a grown ass man.
Certainly said some of those things to me during the trial of this case. I have let them go. So, sir, that's just the trial. That's just the trial of the case. Okay,
no, but that man's life is here.
And you're doing a fine job in representing.
He puts the focus back on the defendant. This is all about the defendant, and you putting him at jeopardy, sir.
Well, but you know what? That's just the way we are right now. But the crux of the issue is, Mr. Steele, and the representatives from the state and everybody else. What happens right now is I have to take a break in order to vet all of these issues, which I'm required to do, Mr. Steele. And that's what is kind of disappointing to me because I have given you all this administrative time, all these breaks to go ahead and do this. And this is what delays the presentation of this case in front of the jury.
You know, if I would have done what the state did and not poking anything at Ms. Hilton, you would have said to me, why didn't you share those calls with him before? What, you were out all day today. We didn't start court till 1 o'clock. I would have shared them.
I know you would have.
But the state didn't. I'm not poking fun because I can deal with it. But
Well,
the
you know
court
what?
then steps
But
in.
here's the problem. I have a problem with it because here's at the end of the day, I got to listen to a 15-minute call.
You don't have to listen to anything.
But
you have to make a ruling
yes,
on it.
but I have to listen to it in order to make the ruling on those. And even if you said you've listened to the chicken call and the baseball call, and if you say there's other issues that come into play, it's better for us to take those things up before I ask for that jury. And I could have done that this morning. I could have done that at another point in time. So, I mean,
I raised this issue to you, and I don't remember the date, but it was days ago. I raised it, and the court said, all right, understood. And we'll take that issue up when it comes. Now, what am I supposed to do?
Okay.
Sit there and say no objection?
No,
Exactly right.
Not at all. Not
I said,
at all.
Judge, it's an issue
Not
we
at
need
all.
to take up.
Not at all.
And in addition to that, today alone, and this happens, today alone, the state introduced 2 exhibits. I've never been given them before, ever. You know what I did? No problem. No problem. Because I think that's professional. One was a Google map. It needs to be clarified for the record that it was not done on September 11, 2013. And then a map with little dots with 0.4 miles. I've never seen before. But I didn't do anything, Your Honor. I want to move the case. But when the court, it gives me no pleasure in saying this. I believe that this honorable court is biased against Mr. Williams and or his counsel.
Putting it out there, I'll put it on the record. You guys are biased. Let's go.
And I ask you to consider recusing yourself or don't do this again to me. This is inappropriate to me. I respect you, but what am I supposed to do? Sit there while you do this? I didn't do anything wrong. I did exactly what you teach me to do and the courts teach me to do.
All right.
But instead, no, I got to finish this.
My man said, I got to finish. Shut the judge down. Yo, you know how much balls in there got?
Then I get told to this court says by Prosecutor Love that I'm not being candid with the court and I'm misrepresenting because Mr. Bean never went to the hospital at Grady on September 11, 2013. And Ms. Love has a document on the desk to prove it. I sat right in front of Your Honor at the table, at the bench, and I said, I'd be careful what you say. That's not accurate. Ms. Love looked down on me and she said, it is accurate. You said, we'll take a break, figure it out. After the break, you didn't even bat an eye. Ms. Love said, yeah, I was totally wrong. Mr. Steele's right. He was taking a Grady. If I would have done that and called another member of the bar disingenuous, not truthful, no candor, and misrepresenting, you would have had me.
That's crazy. Come on, man. He putting out facts. Come on now.
Yelling in front of a jury. You did nothing. You didn't even ask Ms. Love to apologize. I don't want her apology. I don't care about Ms. Love, but I care about the court. And now if you can
Look at her hand. She said, what does he want then?
walk in someone else's shoes just for a minute and see what you're doing to Mr. Williams, because it's hurtful. I'm not the one wasting time. I'm here every day ready to go. I am not wasting the time. I make a motion to ask you to please recuse yourself. I know it has to be in writing within 5 days. If you want me to do that, I'll do it. And that's to go to another judge. But this is what's going on, Your Honor, whether you see it or not. You're yelling at me in front of a jury for nothing.
And that's crazy because that means a judge could yell at the lawyer, but the lawyer cannot yell back. They go talk at that tone that Steele is speaking at. That's it. No yelling at the judge.
And then you won't apologize. And I did nothing wrong ever on
Mr.
these
Steele,
occasions or others.
I'm going to go ahead and address your motion at this point in time. I'm going to deny your motion at this point in time. And also just direct you that I had the responsibility to control the proceedings in this particular circumstance. Sometimes things get kind of heated, and that's that's the crucible and trial of any particular case. I am not in any way intimating or insinuating that you are not professional, you are not prepared, but the things that I am bringing up to both of you, and I have fussed at both sides for this particular issue of not being prepared in the sense of, and the only reason it affects the trial of the case is it makes the proceedings a lot longer than they should be, because all these things could be taken
This trial has been going on for more than 2 years, taking forever.
up. And sometimes if we've got to parse out all these things, as you can see right now, it takes time. And that's what I'm kind of concerned about, having been a jurist for a long time. So, I understand that you're a zealous advocate. You in no way offend me by raising any type of motion. I think you're doing I think that you and the others here are representing your clients well, but sir, I have to be able to control these proceedings. And you at times in these proceedings have not listened to what the courts told you, and I certainly could have explored other options. I didn't. So I'll tell you that much for what it's worth.
You allowed a member of the bar yesterday ask a witness who constantly is committing, respectfully, potentially perjury. Did Mr. Steele shut off and turn on the recording? I never did that. I wouldn't do that, and I didn't do that.
Okay, and but sir,
I would have said that
My man said, let me finish. I'm in the middle of saying something.
question about another member of the bar, prosecution. You would have come over the bench and said, how dare you? I sat there and I said,
Lawyer got this rule of conduct of things you can and cannot do, and you know better. That's crazy.
outrageous. You
Okay, but
denied the motion. I think 3 other people made motions to strike or to object. You denied it. Judge, I'm just telling you, the appearance, if not the reality, is not good here. I'm being
What, to who?
to Mr. Williams.
Okay, but
Maybe to the others. Maybe
you're
there's
his,
still
you're his
To rapid YSL. Come on now.
advocate, okay? And that separate issue of whether or not you did what you did, the state accused you of that, they have the right to at least inquire about whether or not that happened. Now, whether or not it happened or not, I'm not making any comment on it, but it goes to bias, it goes to motives to misrepresent.
So
But
that never happened. No
but,
good
okay,
faith.
but I'm not commenting. I'm not commenting on that. That's for the jury. That's for the jury to decide.
I asked a question about a missing recording that I wasn't given of a statement made by Mr. Bean. And you know what you told me?
And I keep telling
you. Know what you told me? You said, does the state have it? They said no. You said nothing I can do. I tried to cross on it. You sustained an objection.
Because it doesn't exist at this point in time. Now, if it exists at some point, I will. I told you I'd say it. One, I tell you, I apologize.
Look at the other lawyer looking at Steele like, yo, this man got balls to go up against a judge. Crazy.
Apologize to you, and then 2, I'll take corrective action against the party or the entity that failed to give you that particular statement.
But the point is, everyone knows he spoke to the detective beforehand.
No, we don't. That's
He
the whole
said
thing.
it.
You believe it. You honestly believe it, and that's true.
On September 17th, 2013, I'm recording. Mr. Bean tells that to Detective Quinn. How is that far-fetched? Why would he ever say that? I lied to the other detective. Why would he ever say that? I mean, logic has to come into this courtroom at times. But you stop me from doing it, but you allow another lawyer.
Let's use logic here. Come on now, common sense, sir.
Make up that I'm stopping and starting a recording. And he says, well, I don't recall. I don't remember anything.
Here's the thing. That's why probably Miss Love asked me to put it under seal for the time being. But I mean, I'm not saying anything, but if true, that's a pretty serious accusation. If true, I'll die right now. How about that, Judge Glanville?
Your Honor, I object to this.
I don't care about her objection. I'm speaking with the
Your Honor,
court.
I object.
He said, I don't care about her objection. I'm talking. Sit your ass down.
I'm
I'd like to
speaking
level
with
an
the court.
objection.
Okay,
I'm speaking
Let him
with the
finish,
court.
and then you can state your.
My point is, if you don't see
He's shutting everybody down. I don't care. I'm in the middle of talking, period.
what's going on, it's because you're not viewing it out of the lens
But
of a
Mr. Steele,
juror.
Mr. Steele, I can't do that. I have to be the referee. So the jury decides those particular issues of believability and credibility. Now, I'm not getting into the throes of war between you and
You know, I love the fact that Steele never gives the judges back. He's staring dead in the face, just looking at him. Never giving the court his back. That's respectable.
between you and the state. That's your business, and that
I
is
have
certainly
nothing to do with a throw war.
no. But I mean, it's your ability as an advocate.
I
told you before. That's your ability as an advocate. All right.
What I'm saying is, you said in front of this jury, I was unprofessional. I am not unprofessional. You were wrong.
I think at that particular point in time, given the totality of what happened, that's what the court's assessment was, sir. I am.
But it was wrong.
It's a snippet.
You know, the judge is the court, so that's his assessment, and he's calling it the court.
In time, Mr. Steele, you're a very good attorney, but
The best.
I'm a professional jurist, and you may not like some of the rulings that I make, and you may not like the way that the trial is going at a particular point in time. That's for all advocates. Miss Love and her colleagues, I've told them the same thing. But I think that my job as the referee is to give you a fair trial, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, I hope that's true. But you just told the jury I'm unprepared. And I am prepared. I don't understand why you would say that.
Both of you, and I'll level this against the state. Both of you, that's being unprepared, because that I have to then listen to this to rule on it.
I understand, but I'm the only one that the jurors here, the court, take ire with. Ever. Without an apology, without.
Oh, I think I've taken Miss Love and Miss Hilton and her colleagues to task many times.
No, I've heard you yell.
I've taken them to task as well.
I've heard you say to her, "Stop interrupting me." Answer my question.
That's taking them to task.
The jurors never heard that, ever.
Whoa.
So I asked for a continuing recusal motion, and I know it's not in writing, but I assume that you're ruling on it right now. That's what you're.
So he wants to get the judge off the case and bring in a new judge. Man, this man got balls. So Steele.
saying.
Well, when you got to put it in writing, but I mean, I'll rule on it at this point in time. I'm going to deny them.
The judge is like, I ain't going nowhere. Period.
Without a motion, but you need to put it in writing if that's what you wish to do, and I'll appropriately.
I'm also asking for a mistrial based upon your statements. I think I
And a mistrial. That's crazy. Come on now.
made that clear, but I'm asking for a mistrial.
Okay, now, Ms. Love.
I don't think it's a fair forum for Mr. Williams.
Okay.
And I don't want to ask for a mistrial, but I have no choice when the court is saying what it said, and I'm not going to repeat it in front of a jury. That's hurtful. And I'm not saying me.
Whew.
I mean,
A man is giving the judge something to think about. Listen up. You're being hurtful. And this is a mistrial. Let's call it quits. Crazy.
regardless of what I think of it, it's hurtful to Mr. Williams getting a fair trial.
All right, Mr. Steele, in terms of what I've told you all already.
You see that? He never gives the judges back, because that will be ultimate disrespectful. So he's looking dead at the judge as he walks away.
We're still going through the, I've told you all, both sides have told you. So this just delays the trial. I mean, we're
Giving the judge the ultimate respect and disrespecting him at the same time.
I've got to rule upon other things.
Well, I made this motion whenever I made it, and I raised it, and you said we'll get to it.
Yeah, but it's timing. I mean, did you raise it when we first got in here this afternoon? Did you raise it yesterday? Did you raise it kind of so I could kind of take it at that point in time? None of you did.
If I would have been told that there were going to be 3 additional jail calls, I could have raised it. The 2 others are already in. I didn't object.
All right.
This YSL trial is must-see TV.
I would have been told that there were going to be.
It's must-see TV because Michael's still going up against the judge. It's something you don't get to see on TV a lot. Like, this is all public. The fact that he's going up against the judge, putting him in his place, letting him know you got to be replaced, and this trial needs to be called off. Let's see what else we got here.
This is Judge Rachel Krause. She is currently the judge assigned to handle Judge Glanville's recusal case. Watch the video until the end to find out why Judge Krause may decide to rule on Glanville's recusal without hosting a hearing or calling witnesses.
The whole process of this recusal thing, will there be a hearing if it is granted? And what is the whole, I mean, how does that go about? Is it the witnesses come about and they make a decision based on a hearing, or what? How does that go?
You know, a lot of this is in the control of the judge that hears the recusal, Judge Krause in this case. The judge can make a decision on the paper.
And they trying to get rid of both Glanville and Ms. Krause. They're both like work with each other. They know each other, and they both can be on the case. So Steele wrote a letter saying that they both need to be recused. Both judges.
Papers,
This is like a movie, must-see TV.
just the papers that are filed. The judge can have a hearing. The judge can decide that we're allowed to bring witnesses in.
Last night on the infamous Sylvia show, Doug Weinstein, attorney for DeMonte Kendrick, came on the show to answer questions. Weinstein shed light on many questions that YSL trial observers have relating to the recusal hearing for Chief Judge Ural Glanville. See the link for the full show in the description. One question many people have is whether Judge Krause will agree to send Judge Glanville's recusal hearing to another jurisdiction outside of Fulton County. Weinstein insisted that he believes that Judge Krause is fair, but still believes that the case should be heard by a judge from another circuit.
Yes. You know, I don't really care where it goes. I think everything I know about Judge Krause is that he's an excellent judge that would more than likely render an unbiased opinion. But there's a reason the case law and the opinions of the opinions of the JQC say that you need to go to another circuit. And that's because, like it or not, it's very difficult for a judge that's sitting on the bench in the same county with another judge to tell that to rule on a matter involving that judge, which is why the normal the case law says you kick it out to somewhere else. And I don't know if it's even really fair to put Judge Krause in that position where she has to make a ruling on one of her immediate colleagues. That's a tough position to put her in. And you know as much as I do, so far the judge hasn't done anything with my motion to recuse the whole Fulton County bench from hearing the recusal of Glanville. I know it's getting complicated now, right?
Yeah.
Recusals for recusals. But yeah, we have not heard anything from Judge Krause about that. So we'll see what happens.
This is getting so complicated. It's got to be must-watch TV. Every day they come up with something new. But comment down below, what do you think of this YSL trial? This is must-see TV. And the ups and downs and everything that's happening in this court case, it's just unbelievable. Like, why are they doing this in public? The more we see, the crazier it is. Check out Steele yelling at the court. Let me see if I can share this tab with you guys. Because Steele is just going one-on-one with the judge, and it's amazing what this man is doing. And every time you see Steele, it's like a must-see TV. Let me see if the audio still works.
And if I get another false allegation and you do nothing, I'm shocked. I'm appalled at you. I sit here day after day with this false allegation, just machine. I've never been treated like this. You talk about professionalism every week. Professionalism is lacking with one lawyer here.
Your Honor, could we strike the hominem attack?
No, I'm speaking.
Really, could we strike that?
Okay, hey, everybody, calm down. Everybody, both of you,
My man says, sit down, I'm speaking.
both of you, please be seated.
Judge, I'm not
Both
done.
of you, please be seated.
You have to do something.
The Young Thug Rico trial has been crazy from the jump, but now it's so wild that even lawyers are getting arrested. And today we're breaking the whole situation down. There's been a lot going on with the Young Thug trial, but everything went to a new level when Lil Woody was brought in to testify against Thug. Lil Woody took a deal where he would get immunity in exchange for telling everyone what he knew about Young Thug and YSL. Lil Woody's testimony has been hyped up as one of the most important pieces of the case for the prosecution. Ever since the trial started, they've been calling him one of Thug's shooters and said that he was involved with the murder of Young Thug's op, Big Nut, back in 2015. So when Lil Woody was set to take the stand 8 months after the trial started, everyone was ready for him to start dropping bombs. But when he showed up to court, nobody expected what actually happened. As soon as the prosecution tried to question Woody, he made it clear he wasn't going to work with them. The prosecutors asked how old he was, and Woody just told them,
grown.
The lawyers tried to press him on it and asked Woody what his actual age was, and that's when he decided to plead the fifth.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
He's an adult. Talk about it. Woody is the best witness, most entertaining witness.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
By the way, he was born in 91. So that would make him like what, 32, 33?
I plead the fifth.
Pleading the fifth basically means that you don't have to answer any questions that can get you in trouble with the law. Usually it's not an issue for someone like Lil Woody to plead the fifth, but since he already had a deal that gave him immunity, Lil Woody gave up his right to plead the fifth. As soon as Lil Woody refused to answer the question about his age, the judge asked the jury to leave the room and then told Lil Woody that he was being held in contempt and was going to jail. Right after it went down, Lil Woody hopped on Instagram and said he was good and that this was going to be the last time he ever went to jail. The drama didn't end there though. After Lil Woody was taken out by cops, Young Thug's lawyer Brian Steele came up and asked for a mistrial. According to Brian Steele, the state knew that Lil Woody was going to plead the fifth and wouldn't actually testify. Brian Steele told the judge that the situation was going to hurt Young Thug's case. And since
Yeah, they had like a secret meeting also without Steele present. So that's a big no-no.
the state allegedly knew what was going to go down, the whole thing should be called a mistrial.
My point is, if this honorable court finds that the state knew or had reason to believe that he was going to do this in front of a jury, that his response was going to be, I'm invoking the Fifth Amendment, then, Your Honor, yes, I adopt what you said. That's wrong of a party, and I'm moving for mistrial.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you.
I think Steele asked for mistrial. I don't know how many times by now. And every single time the judge says no. Come on now. This just feels so illegal. Again, it's must-see TV. We hardly get to see stuff like this.
The judge claimed that nobody knew Lil Woody was going to plead the fifth, but now the situation is starting to look real sketchy. George Cheedy is a reporter from Atlanta who's been following Young Thug's case from the start. He was in the courtroom while the Lil Woody situation was going down, and George Cheedy claims that 2 sheriff's deputies told him not to record anything if Lil Woody got arrested in court. What makes everything really suspicious is that nobody had any reason to think that Lil Woody would be arrested before he sat down to testify. According to the judge and the prosecutors, they didn't know Lil Woody was going to plead the fifth. But if the deputies in the courtroom knew something was about to go down, the judge probably would have known too. Nobody on the outside thought Lil Woody's testimony was going to go down like that. But what happened next was even crazier. After the Lil Woody situation was handled, the state prosecutor accused Brian Steele of handing over files that had been changed. There's no evidence to prove that actually happened though, and nobody expected what was about to go down. Brian Steele clapped back hard and started yelling about the accusations the state was making against him.
And if I get another false allegation and you do nothing, I'm shocked.
Woo! That man is raising his voice at the judge appropriately.
I'm appalled at you.
No fear.
I sit here day after day with this false allegation, just machine. I gave the state everything.
The situation was getting really heated, but then the judge stepped in and made everyone sit down again.
You need balls of steel to be able to talk like that to the judge. Those are the ones that could speak.
Brian Steele was already pressed about how the whole case was being handled. The trial had already been going on for 8 months at that point, and Thug's lawyer Brian Steele thought they needed to declare a mistrial and start the whole case over again. The judge denied Brian Steele's motion for a mistrial though, and Lil Woody came back to court after the weekend was over and took the stand again. He decided not to plead the fifth this time, but he was still trying his hardest to play dumb and not really answer the prosecutor's questions. Even when she asked him simple questions like what his brother's names are, Lil Woody looked annoyed and took forever to respond.
He did a great job not giving the answers, just throwing dumb answers out there. I wonder what the jury was thinking throughout this whole testimony.
Trey, not a boss.
Say that one more time. You said it's fast.
I got no.
Nato, Trey's boss.
Nato, Trez, and Boss. Okay.
The drama around Lil Woody still wasn't over yet. It turns out that the judge and the prosecutors had a private meeting with Lil Woody and didn't tell Young Thug's lawyer Brian Steele about it. This kind of meeting without one side of the trial in the room is called ex parte, and Brian Steele started pressing the judge about what happened. Having an ex parte meeting doesn't mean something shady is going down, but Brian Steele accused the state and the judge of trying to intimidate Lil Woody into testifying. Brian Steele brought it all up to the judge and wanted answers about why he wasn't involved with the meeting.
District attorney or district attorneys from the DA's office, as well as investigators, sheriff deputies, Mr. Copeland and his counsel met together. None of the defense team, to my knowledge, was aware that this was going on.
But the judge got pressed and wouldn't talk about it. All the judge wanted to know is how Brian Steele even found out about the meeting. But
He wanted a snitch. Tell me, what's the name? Who told you about this? Talk about it.
Brian Steele wouldn't give up his sources. The judge threatened to hold Brian Steele in contempt if he didn't tell him how he found out about the meeting. But Brian Steele held his ground and wouldn't say anything.
And you haven't answered my question yet.
I'm not
How
going
did
to answer
you?
that question.
You're not.
No.
That's when the situation took another crazy turn.
My man said, I'm not answering that question. Yo, he got the balls, man. Again.
The judge actually had Brian Steele arrested and sentenced him to 20 days in jail.
I'm going to order that you be taken into custody, incarcerated at the Fulton County Jail for no more than 20 days for this contempt.
Brian Steele's sentence only had to be served on the weekends, though. So during the week, he would be out of jail and could still work on the trial. Brian Steele knew that getting held in contempt was going to hurt the case. But he asked if he could be held in the same jail as Young Thug so they could talk about the case while both of them are locked up.
I'd ask that I can be with Mr. Williams and we work on our case all weekend. For all.
That lawyer is worth every single dollar. My man is going to jail for you, for his defendant. That's crazy. And also, who's going to be sitting next to YSL or Mr. Williams during the trial? Because this man is going to be in jail.
Those weekends. Otherwise, I can't prepare.
After the situation went down, other lawyers hopped on social media and said that Brian Steele getting taken into custody like that should make the whole case end in a mistrial.
Yeah.
What's really crazy about the situation is that the judge didn't want to talk about the private meeting he had with Lil Woody and the prosecutors at all, though. All the judge was worried about was figuring out how Brian Steele knew about the meeting with Woody, and now the judge is threatening to throw even more lawyers in jail over the situation. The judge is having another meeting with the state prosecutors, Lil Woody, and Lil Woody's ex-lawyer about the situation. And according to reports, he's threatening to hold all of them in contempt if he finds out that they leaked the info about the other meeting to Brian Steele. The way the judge is handling the case is wild. And a Georgia lawyer named Andrew Fleischman said that now, even if Young Thug gets convicted, the defense could have a good chance of getting the ruling overturned. According to Andrew Fleischman, everyone in the Georgia legal community is shocked at what the judge is doing. Another defense lawyer named Doug Weinstein, who's in the trial, filed a motion to have the judge removed from the case. What's crazy about it, though, is that the judge is the one who makes that decision, and he denied the motion immediately.
So if he doesn't want to go anywhere, he doesn't have to. That's crazy. How can other judges and people be watching this on TV and agreeing with this?
Weinstein asked the judge, aren't you interested in removing the cloud that is hanging over the case right now? And that's when the judge threatened him and said,
I'd be real careful about what you're pleading at this point in time, what you're stating to the court. I just, as a matter of professional responsibility, remember, we haven't nugged out all of the issues involved in that affidavit. And I would be very careful if I were you.
Even Kodak Black's attorney, Bradford Cohen, gave his thoughts on the situation on Twitter. Bradford Cohen is a big celebrity attorney from Florida who has represented everyone from Drake to DMX. Cohen has ties to Donald Trump and was the one who helped Kodak and Lil Wayne get pardoned in 2021. After Brian Steele was arrested, Cohen called out the judge on Twitter and said that the situation was immediate grounds for a mistrial. He also called Brian Steele a real one and said that defense attorneys everywhere should be terrified by the judge's actions. Even though a lot of people think it should have already been called a mistrial, the judge kept it going, and Lil Woody is testifying without pleading the fifth anymore. Taking the immunity deal was definitely a good move for Lil Woody because he had already been labeled as a snitch before the trial even kicked off. Back in 2023, a 3-hour-long interrogation with Lil Woody leaked online. and that's when the situation started looking bad for him. According to reports, the interrogation was from 2021. Lil Woody had been picked up on a charge for carrying a gun as a felon and was facing serious time, and that's when he offered to work with the cops and help them take Young Thug down. Lil Woody told the detectives,
The information I have, they want to hear right now.
I mean, we can pass it to
You
them.
say you pass it, and I'm thinking something gonna happen today.
What's gonna happen?
Somebody's supposed to get killed tonight.
the cops asked Lil Woody
He just said somebody's supposed to get killed tonight. That's crazy.
for more details, and Lil Woody told him that there was a dude that Young Thug wanted dead. Lil Woody even offered to get on the phone with one of his homies while the cops were watching so they could confirm what was about to go down. It was clear that Lil Woody was desperate to get out of the situation and was ready to give up anybody if the cops would let him go. Lil Woody told the cops,
Right now, you need to hear so smart and he moving different. It's hard to keep up with how he moving.
What do you mean?
So he not moving how he used to move. He moved different. But he want this nigga so bad that he's that reckless.
Lil Woody even said that Young Thug was rich and stupid, and that's why he hated being around him.
He's still stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you rich, why would you be stupid? That's why I get away from him. I go, I get away from him. That's why you never see me post. I just hate being around.
The reason why Lil Woody's new testimony is so important is that he's allegedly the reason the whole war between YSL and YFN kicked off in the first place. A lot of the YSL RICO case is around the beef between YSL and YFN that sparked up back in 2015. And one of the biggest things against Young Thug is the murder of a dude named Big Nut. Big Nut was known all over Atlanta and had ties to YFN Lucci, Rich Homie Quan, and a lot of other people in the game. And his death had a massive impact on the city. Big Nut is one of the people who pushed YFN Lucci into hopping in the booth instead of staying in the streets. And he even linked Lucci up with his manager Fly. Back in the day, everything was cool with YFN and YSL. By the time YFN Lucci started making waves in the industry, Young Thug had already been rapping for a few years and had a buzz on his name. Both of them came up in the Zone 3 area of Atlanta, and fans thought they would link up and put on for the city. But instead, something went down behind the scenes.
That's crazy, man. They all coming up, and boom, people start getting shot. You know, envy is crazy. When you envy other people making it, man, that's tough.
That sparked a deadly war and led to the RICO case Young Thug is wrapped up in right now. Nobody knows how everything really went down yet, but according to the cops, Lil Woody got robbed by some YFN affiliates back in 2015, and that's where it all started. A few days after Lil Woody was allegedly robbed by YFN, YSL allegedly clapped back and killed Big Nut in a drive-by shooting. The Big Nut murder is the biggest thing that the prosecutors are trying to put on Young Thug. According to them, Young Thug rented the car that YSL allegedly used in a drive-by on Big Nut. The murder of Big Nut caused a huge split in the Atlanta rap scene. It's allegedly the reason that Rich Gang ended because Rich Homie Quan stopped rocking with Thug after Big Nut was killed. In a leaked conversation with police, Rich Homie Quan even admitted that there were rumors in Atlanta that Thug and YSL were behind the murder of Big Nut. He told investigators that he didn't see Thug around the city right after it happened because they allegedly went to Miami to lay low. Rich Homie Quan didn't have any proof that Thug was behind Big Nut's death, but he did admit it was a rumor that had been going around Atlanta since it happened, which was the basis for the entire RICO case against YSL. Lil Woody ended up talking about the Big Nut murder, but before that happened, he made headlines when he fired his lawyer right before he was about to testify again.
Before we call in our jury, it has been brought to the court's attention that Mr. Copeland's counsel, Ms. Bumpus, would like to be released. Is that correct?
I love how he just looked at the lawyer and said, yeah, she fired. Peace, and gives her the peace sign.
Correct, madam? Okay, all right.
The judge asked Lil Woody if he wanted to hire another lawyer or have the state give him one. But Lil Woody decided to move on without a lawyer and told the judge, I'm good.
Is it your desire to release your counsel at this point in time?
She fired.
You could certainly hire another lawyer, or the court could appoint you a lawyer.
What I need a lawyer for? That's what
No, it's just the court is just asking you whether it's your choice, sir.
I'm good.
The testimony kept going, and that's when Lil Woody told everyone,
I told Quay that, man, I have a personal problem with Young Thug.
2021 was the year that Lil Woody got arrested and offered to help the cops set Young Thug up. In that same year, he told his homie, Marquavius Huey, that he had an issue with Thug. It's not clear what was going down between them, but obviously it was serious enough that Lil Woody didn't want to be around Thug anymore. Before Woody took the stand, rumors were flying that he had already admitted to killing Big Nut. Everyone thought Woody was going to finally air the situation out.
That's crazy to admit that you murdered somebody, man. That's a lot of years in jail.
Behind one of the most infamous murders in Atlanta.
Supposedly.
But that's not how it went down. On the day that Nut died, Woody said people started hitting his phone up and were asking if he's the one who killed Nut. Woody said he was at his girl's house when he got the call, and he had been with her when the shooting went down.
I remember getting a call saying that I killed Nut.
Where were you that day? You remember that day, though? Were you at your girlfriend's house that morning?
Oh, yeah.
The prosecutor asked Woody straight up if he killed Nut.
Did you kill Nut?
No.
But even if Woody didn't pull the trigger on Nut, pretty much everyone in Atlanta thought he did. Rumors are flying that Woody killed Nut because he wanted to clap back at YFN for robbing him, and the cops thought he was involved too. Woody was brought in for questioning right after Nut died, but the police didn't have any evidence back then to actually book him for it. Nobody knows if Woody is telling the truth about Nut's murder or not, but even if he didn't kill him, the ops still try to take Woody out over the situation. After Nut died, someone pulled up on Woody while he was on the highway and started.
I didn't know Little Woody was a rapper, and he actually had a song. Look at him in a car.
Letting off shots at his whip. Woody made it out and didn't get hit, but that wasn't the only time the ops slid on him, and they almost even took out his daughter. One night, Woody was standing outside of his crib with his daughter and girlfriend when a car rolled through and somebody started shooting at all three of them. Woody started busting back though, so the shooter drove off without hitting anyone. Nobody was ever booked for the shooting, but back in 2015, Woody told the cops that his homie Lil Tay was the shooter. They brought Woody in for questioning after the shooting went down, and at first, he told the cops he had no idea who pulled the trigger on him. The cops kept pressing Woody about the situation though, and eventually he told them that Lil Tay was the one who shot at him. But during Young Thug's trial, the prosecutors asked Woody about the shooting, and he told them that he lied to the cops about Lil Tay in 2015.
I hope to make a movie out of this. So Little Woody makes a movie of everything that he's been through. Lying to the court, lying to the detective, being on court, being accused of murder and everything, and being a rapper. He's been through a lot.
According to Woody, he knew the cops weren't going to let him go unless he gave him a name, so he threw Tay under the bus to get out of there.
Do you recall being hesitant in the February 21st interview, and we're going to get to that interview with Detective Gaither, when she showed you a photographic lineup, and you actually eventually pointed Tay out of a photographic lineup?
Because I know Gate. I mean, I know Gate. I know that. I mean, she one of the people that she got it out for me, so I didn't care. I was just trying to get it off. I get them out for me and trying to convince her. And trying to convince her is very hard to do. So I had to go through with it, even though in my heart I knew that he didn't shoot at me, or he would have never shot at me.
Woody's
pretty clear what he just said. Come on now. If you understand, comment down below.
That he had no idea who actually shot at him back in 2015, but that he knows Tay would have never tried to take him out. It's not clear if Lil Tay was actually involved or not, but there's a good chance we'll never find out because he was killed just a few days after Woody testified. According to reports, Lil Tay was in his apartment when someone pulled up outside and started shooting into his crib. Tay didn't make out of the situation to lie, and after the news broke, Woody hopped on IG to show him love. Nobody knows if Tay's murder has anything to do with the trial or Woody's testimony, but Woody has been putting other people in danger ever since Big Nut died. Even Woody's family got wrapped up in the situation because everyone thought he killed Nut. His sister's house got shot up at one point, and then his girlfriend's mother's house was shot too. Woody said the ops were clearly trying to get back at him, but rumors say that Woody was sliding on them too. At one point, YFN Lucci's mom's house got shot up 2 different times.
You know, it's crazy the lawlessness happening in Georgia. I think Georgia is a carry state where you're allowed to carry a gun with you. But wow, people got to live like this, having to deal with drive-bys, insane.
And a lot of people think Woody was involved with it. During the trial, the prosecutor asked Woody about the situation because he allegedly heard a phone call where Lucci put a $20K bag on whoever shot his mom's house up.
Lucci's mom and dad got shot. Somebody shot up his mama and dead. Somebody's house got shot up. It's $20,000. It's $20,000, man. There's $20,000 on their head, or whatever they said. And you heard that conversation.
I don't recall.
Nobody knows who actually hit up Lucci's mom's house, but the prosecutors are using Young Thug's lyrics against him over the situation.
So now when you're a rapper, they're making use of your lyrics to say that you're guilty. That's crazy.
On the track Bad Boy, he raps, I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mentioned me. You say you want smoke, and I've been coming down the chimney. You gotta barbecue your... I'm so fried and they crispy. I had on YELLS when I shot at the... Act like you want war, and they gon' smoke you like a blunt. Woody said the rumors about him shooting Nut almost got him killed, and the situation got so heated that he thought he was gonna have to kill Young Thug. Woody testified that people were in his ear talking about Young Thug and making Woody paranoid. Woody said that at one point, he told his girlfriend,
I text her and told her that I was going to kill Thug when I get a
That's crazy that he's testifying to this.
chance.
obviously that's not how it went down. But Big Nut's murder was sparking internal beef inside YSL. At the same time, they were going to war with YFN. But Woody isn't the only dude in YSL that Thug allegedly has beef with. And now fans are worried about Gunna too. Everyone was shocked when Gunna took a plea deal to get out of the RICO case. Thug and them have been tight for years, and a lot of people started calling Gunna a rat and a traitor for taking the deal instead of going to trial with Thug. Lil Baby was tight with Gunna and had a lot of music with him, but he started dissing his old homie after Gunna took the deal. Baby allegedly dissed Gunna on an unreleased track and rapped, taking pleas. I know Slime ain't happy. Lil Baby and Gunna racked up over 1 billion streams with their track Drip Too Hard. But when the track started playing during Lil Baby's show, he told the DJ to turn it off and said, the rats. Gunna allegedly clapped back on the track Bread and Butter when he raps, peeping, I'm seeing fall back. You got me at the topic of the chat. You switched on me when you know you in business with a rat. And the boy that's like your brother, ain't nobody speak on that. Gunna claimed that he wasn't dissing Lil Baby, but that didn't stop Lil Baby from sending more shots on the track Underdog and rapping, how you switch up on the pros? I can't f with those. Act like they won't fold, knowing that they told. A lot.
I can't believe they're using lyrics on a court case. This is insane. We're living in that time where they're just saying, hey, if you said on a rap, it must be real.
A lot of people thought Gunna's career is about to fall off because of the whole situation with Thug, but he proved them all wrong and it's been all over the charts. Gunna said the whole time that he never snitched on Thug or anyone else, and in July 2024, he dropped a new track with Offset and rapped, won't trade my team, I could never be a traitor. Like Raiders, we ball, never thought they would raid us.
Whatever happened to poetry and saying that all this is just made up, all for entertainment purposes? And now they're saying that if they said on the rhyme, then it must be true. Hey, it's only about time when they started doing that.
Gunna also said in an interview,
I'm still signed to YSL. I'm still providing, like, we still pushing, like, no paperwork has been changed.
but Thug might not be feeling the same way. After the interview came out, Young Thug hopped on Twitter and said, whatever Wham say goes. Wham is what Young Thug calls Lil Baby. So fans think that Thug
Wham. I'm gonna start calling people that. Wham. What up, Wham?
is picking Lil Baby's side instead of rocking with Gunna. What makes the situation even more complicated is that Young Thug's dad is still kicking it with Gunna. Thug's dad also said in an interview,
he need to shut the because he don't know what's going on.
Talk about it, Wham. Let him know. You gotta shut up.
You know, he's going off of what he heard. Ask Lil Baby, have you ever came to a court date?
Gunna isn't going to be part of the RICO trial, but he's not the only YSL affiliate who took a deal. And now rumors are flying that Thug's own brother is going to testify and give the prosecutors a lot of ammo to use against Thug. Thug's brother, Unfung, took a plea deal and was sentenced to 12 years with 10 of those on probation. He's been pretty quiet about the trial, but then out of nowhere, Unfung hopped on IG and asked if he should set the record straight or let the world think what they want to think. It's not clear what Unfung was trying to say, but a lot of people already think he's a rat because
You know, it's crazy how they take entertainment into the real world and vice versa. Using the real world accident in their poetry.
he took a plea deal while his brother is still in prison. Taking a deal doesn't make you a snitch automatically, but some of Thug's homies are taking the case to trial instead of making deals. Khalif Adams, aka Bobby Hunt, is one of Thug's homies who's accused of trying to kill YFN Lucci. Bobby Hunt was offered a deal and turned it down. He's already serving life in prison for a murder back
That's crazy. Life in prison. Come on, Wham. What is you doing?
in 2016, though. So getting convicted in the RICO case isn't really going to change a lot for him. Damani Blalik, aka Bally, also turned the plea deal down. But just like Bobby Hunt, he's already serving a life sentence for another murder from 2019.
That's insane. People serving life sentences. Come on, Wham. It's cleaning out the streets.
A few other YSL members didn't take a deal, but some of them are still trying to find lawyers. Everyone in the RICO indictment was supposed to be in trial together at first, but the judge put the cases up because everything was taking too long. DJ Vlad talked to 1090 Jake about the situation, and Vlad said he was surprised that Thug wasn't paying for everyone's lawyers. Vlad said paying for Woody's lawyer might have helped Thug's case, but 1090 Jake said that if Thug got everybody good lawyers, they would only be helping their own cases and probably hurt Thug's chances of winning his own trial. There's been a lot of drama inside the courtroom, but it's nothing compared to what went down in the Fulton County Jail. Shannon.
That's the same spot where they're trying Donald Trump. So look at that. Donald Trump in the YSL case, everything's looking crazy. All looking corrupt.
Stillwell, aka SB, is wrapped up in the case and was allegedly one of the shooters on a big nut hit. He's also been charged with killing Shymel Drinks back in 2022, but somebody tried to take SB out while he was behind bars.
Stabbed in prison. Come on now. This is a movie.
A dude named Willie Brown went to SB's cell to fight him. According to reports, SB had a knife on him, but Brown took the knife from SB and started stabbing him in the shoulders, back, and stomach. Luckily, SB made out of the situation alive, but if the trial keeps slowing down, it's going to give the ops more chances to catch him lacking in jail. Lil Woody's testimony could definitely hurt Thug's case. But after all the sketchy moves the judge has been pulling, there's a good chance that Thug will end up skating on the charges now. When the RICO was announced a couple years ago, most people thought it was over for Thug. But now the case is looking better for him, and he might actually end up coming home.
Come on, Wham. This trial is must-see TV. And what are we in 2024? In a couple of years, we got to see the movie of everything that's happening with the YSL case, with Michael Steele, or Michael Balls of Steel, going up against the judge. This is must-see TV. So if you enjoy the content, everything that I've shown you guys, give it a thumbs up. And let's keep watching because this is an amazing trial.
Verbal or life.
You want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay.
Here.
Well, are you gonna let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
He didn't want to do the math. The man was born in 91, so I think he's 32 or 33 years old. But he was like, man, you're not messing with me with the math.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please? From
All right,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take them into custody. Before we call in our jury, it has been brought to the court's attention that Mr. Copeland's counsel, Ms. Bumpus, would like to be released. Is that correct, madam? Yes. Okay, all right. Sir, Mr. Copeland, is it your desire to release your counsel at this point in time?
She's fired.
She's fired? Okay. So do you wish to represent yourself in these particular, in terms of any issues you may have in this particular?
Do I got a choice?
I'm sorry?
Do I got a choice?
Yes, you do.
And what are those?
You can keep your lawyer that you have right
I don't
now.
want her.
I don't
All
want
right.
her.
You could certainly hire another lawyer, or the court could appoint you a lawyer.
Do what I need a lawyer for? That's what
No, it's just the court is just asking you whether it's your choice, sir.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Mr. Lopez, did you file an entry of appearance? All right. Did you, under the Uniform Superior Court rules, file a motion to withdraw pursuant to the Uniform Superior Court rules? I mean, I know you give an oral notice, but usually it has to be in writing, and he has 10 days to object.
She doesn't have to.
Say again.
I was never his counsel. Attorney Glanville was his counsel, and I was stepping in as a courtesy for judicial efficiency.
A courtesy.
Well, given the fact that you have represented Mr. Copeland at this point in time, it would seem appropriate that you do need to, in fact, file a formal withdrawal.
No.
Even though you didn't enter one, you de facto entered this case by your representation of him, or you telling the court that you did, in fact, represent him. So at this point, I'm not inclined to release you until that's done.
But she got fired.
Done now, Judge.
Okay, all right. And he's got 10 days to go ahead and do that. So you're still going to have to be here until I have because he gets that particular period of time to go ahead and decide whether or not he'd like to hire a lawyer. That's the whole reason for the 10 days.
Jeez.
Well, I don't want to hire no.
Hold on. Not yet. You get that right as a party. Okay.
I do get right.
You do. Yes. You get that right to hire a new lawyer. You get the right to do a couple things. One, to decide whether or not you can release her.
Okay.
Okay. Two, you get to decide whether or not you want to get a.
But once you want to fire a lawyer, on that day they get fired. No more talking.
Another lawyer to be with you.
Okay.
Okay. Those are the two big things you get a chance to kind of decide. But what I'm going to do at this point in time is, since she's representing you, I'm going to make her file a formal notice to withdraw. She's orally told you at this point in time she wants to withdraw, but you're on the stand, you're testifying at this point in time. So I'm not going to let her withdraw at this point.
Well, Your Honor, I just would like to say, before he started testifying, I was fired.
I don't know that, ma'am. That's not something that I have notice or knowledge of. So, that's the whole purpose of the rule, so that we can flesh out all those things. So at this point in time, I'm not inclined to let you go at this point. I'm sorry that you put yourself in this particular situation with you and Mr. Melnick and whatever, but, Mr. Copeland does have rights in this particular circumstance. So
who's paying her?
I'll have proper notice to withdraw. I'll give once it's filed, if you file it today, I'll give Mr. Copeland the 10 days, but until such time as I rule upon that and he gets that and gets an opportunity to think about what he'd like to do, I'll go ahead and insist that you remain with us while he's on the stand.
Okay, Judge.
Okay, Judge.
Okay. Madam, I have one other bit of business that.
Also, can I approach, Your Honor, with the state?
No.
No.
What does he want to tell me?
I don't want to say it in open court.
You may answer the question, sir.
Do you recall? I'll ask the question again. Do you recall Thug and Kel speaking while at the Cascade Skating Rink in 2015?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither about that phone call?
Yes.
What do you remember telling Detective Gaither about that phone call?
My word for word?
Whatever you remember.
Word for word, I don't remember. What the hell?
Oh, I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. Do you remember first telling Detective Gaither?
This is like the ultimate witness. I think this video should be shown to other people so they can learn how to be witnesses in big trials like this one, because this is insane.
That you and Kel had said that the beef was over. You told Detective Gaither that.
Yes.
Do you recall, again, telling Detective Gaither in this interview that Kel asked you to call Thug?
Yes.
Do you recall what Thug said in 2015 to Kel?
Yes.
Yes, you remember what Thug said?
I don't recall what was said. I don't remember what was said. Okay. I don't remember me talking to the investigators about it.
All right. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that when Kel got on the phone, that Thug said the beef ain't over with until you pay for my window? You shot my window.
Yes.
Yes, you remember telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't remember what I done told the police.
All right, let's pause it right there. So I got over 100 viewers, but nobody's pressing the like. So I'm gonna leave it right there and just say, be sure to hit the heart on Twitter, give it a like, so like that I could keep streaming. Because otherwise, my name is Noel here at Verbal on Life, battling MS, and this is my solution to dealing with my MS situation, which is going live and talking, doing as much talking as possible, moving around as much as possible, and getting everything done. So make sure to hit that like, so like that I could keep streaming to you guys. With that said,
Verbal or life.
all right, so let me know that you still want to watch by pressing on that heart on Twitter. Otherwise, let's just watch another 30 seconds.
Let me ask you this. Are you just saying yes now to speed up your questioning?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Now, do you recall independently that after Thug told Kel, beef ain't over with until you pay for my window, you shot my window, that you told Kel what you told Kel?
Yes.
What do you remember telling Kel?
Yes.
So you told Kel, yes?
Yes.
Do you recall telling Kel, look, what y'all got going on, this has nothing to do with me?
Yes.
The best witness.
Do you recall also that you told Thug that your beef with Kel is over with?
Yes.
Do you recall what Thug said to you after you said that?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
I don't know.
What did who say to me?
What did Thug say to you?
When?
While he was on FaceTime at the Cascade skating rink.
Who was on FaceTime at the Cascade Skating Rink?
Do you remember testifying earlier that you told Detective Thorpe in January 11 that Kel and Thug?
I don't remember what I told the investigator, Detective Thorpe or whatever.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither in this January 28th interview that Thug said, nigga, I don't care about none of it. Look what y'all got going on. You still shot at me. Just pay for my window. You gonna pay for my window. Hey man, I ain't letting that go.
The hell?
Yes.
What is
Yes,
just
you remember
that?
Thug saying that?
Thug said it?
You said yes, so I'm asking you, what do you remember?
Cause I keep telling you, I don't remember. You keep asking me questions, so I'm just saying yes.
Okay, so
simple.
Are you saying yes, that's what you told Detective Gaither?
Yes.
I know I ain't complete school, but I think I'm speaking proper English.
Yep.
I told you, I don't recall nothing I said to no police. You keep sitting right here asking me the same question over and over and over and over and over. I'm tired of it. I'm drained.
Okay. Well, if you would just answer the questions
I answer the question. You asked me, I said yes, yes. You keep when I say yes, you ask me the same question over and over and over and over and over.
But did you just tell the court and this jury that you're saying yes just to move the process along?
I think I said it loud and clear.
Yup.
So again, will you just answer the questions and we can move the process along?
You keep asking. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Is that what are you answering yes to?
Whatever you say.
Your question.
Objection.
Yesterday, did you tell myself and my colleagues, Ms. Love and others, about Little D and Shannon being in your vehicle the night in the road?
Huh?
Yesterday, did you tell myself, Ms. Love, and a few of my other colleagues that Little D and Shannon were in the car with you the night of the murder of Dolly Thomas?
I told you and them that what I told investigators in June when Nut got killed, something different because I was trying to finesse my way out of a situation. So I said, I picked up D and Shannon. D never told me nothing. I made it up to clear myself up. And that's it.
And was that yesterday that you said that? Did you tell us that yesterday, what you just said?
You asked me to be truthful. And I told you, what I told the investigator back then wasn't me being truthful. So I'm telling you something that I didn't tell them because I ain't trying to go back to jail.
I got it. If I'm asking you was yesterday, the first time you said this part, and now what you're saying today is what is truthful. What you're saying right now, what you're trying to tell the jury right now, is what you are now saying is truthful.
What I'm trying to tell you is our conversation was about something that I said in the past.
I understand.
You know what? I'm going to post it right there. Thank you for tuning in. This is Verbal on Life. Trying to get some more views on my channel. This is now my full-time job, trying to create a YouTube channel and provide information to you guys. And just going to put everything out there. My name is Noel, battling MS. Just coming on here and talking is a big deal for me. Hopefully you're entertained by the information that I'm giving you guys. If you are, make sure to give the video a thumbs up so I could keep posting for you guys, okay? With that said, today's Friday. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Friday, July 12th, 3 o'clock. And let's keep watching. Let's see what's going on out there. I wanted to take a look at what's going on with Donald Trump and Biden, because Biden right now is just fumbling. And I think he got MS the way that he's acting, just confused and lost and mumbling and fumbling his words. Makes you want to think, what is going on with the old man? We got to get Trump in office. Let me switch it to what's going on with Biden.
I asked that Mr. Copeland allowed to finish his.
Okay, all right.
I'll tell you what's up.
Mr. Copeland, you need to finish your answers?
No, I need a break, John.
Say again?
I need a break.
You need to use the restroom?
No, I need a break. Like,
I'm trained.
I need a break.
Sir, it's not time for us to take a break at this point.
Well,
in time.
okay.
Okay. I mean, unless you need to go to the bathroom or some other reason, we're not gonna break at this point in time.
Do you need a few moments? Was yesterday the first time that you told?
Your Honor, I asked Mr. Copeland to finish his answer if he was still.
I don't think he's finished. I think he's finished, Mr. Steele. So I'll overrule that objection.
Was yesterday the first time that you told anyone from the state that what you said back in January of 2015 was a lie? And that you were trying to finesse your way out of what you told them back in January 2015?
I told that to the investigators when they was questioning me at a certain point.
What investigators?
Y'all questioned me so many times, I don't know.
Back in 2015, did you go to the police again on January 11, 2015?
I'll sustain the objection.
Did you also go to the police on January 28, 2015?
I don't know no dates, but if you know that if I went to the, you could just see it.
Did you also go and speak with the police on February 20th, 2015?
If that's what it say.
And what about February 21st, 2015?
If that's what it say.
It is
And
what
what
it is.
about June 10th, 2015?
If that's what it say.
Let me ask you this. In your interview on January 11th, 2015,
That prosecutor's not doing a good job. Keep asking the same questions. And she should know what he's about to say anyway before she even asks.
do you recall your girlfriend's mother's home being shot up?
Was it?
Do you recall it?
Was it?
I'm asking, do you recall her mother's home being shot up that night after that was killed?
I don't know if it was the same night or the next night.
Do you also recall that the stepdad's house was shot up that same evening?
I will object it.
Basis.
You didn't hear it.
I'll sustain this to form. You can rephrase me.
Was the young blood stepdad's house shot up the night that night?
I don't know.
When you went to the police station on January 11, 2015, did you go there on your own?
Nope.
Did the police come and get you to go to the police station, or did someone drop you off home?
They,
I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Did you voluntarily go down to the police station that night?
no, I didn't volunteer. He called me.
And did he tell you you had to come down there, or did you decide to go down there yourself?
Well, he told me to come down, and people told me to go down there because
You're on.
Is there an objection, sir? Just state what it is. Okay, let me see if he's finished his response. Mr. Copeland, you finished? Or do you need to say something else to complete that last question you were asked?
No.
yeah, I'm just gonna say that I was told to go down there and speak with the police.
Okay, all right.
Do you recall in 2015 telling law enforcement officers that you were calling to get advice on whether or not you should go down and speak to the police because your name was coming up in the murder?
Can you say the first part again?
Do you
You know, all these questions, the prosecutor was supposed to know the answer to them and then ask them so like that the jury could hear it, but she's really making a mess. So I'm going to leave it there. I want to thank the 130 viewers on Twitter. Go to YouTube and subscribe. I'm trying to blow on my channel little by little. The trick is not to give up. Here at Verbal on Life. Name is Noel, battling MS. And with that said, I'll be going on later today because it's Friday. And let's go.
Verbal or life.